All right, first violins, we're looking at Ashokan Farewell, measures 32 to 52. And this is going to be the second of the videos. I'm going to start playing this here. This is 72 beats per minute. And when you record this, you'll have a click track. Right now I'm just going to count it off. And make sure that you're checking out this third position stuff. Kind of tricky. Here it is, starting right at 32 on the second ending. 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry. Alright, so you want to stay with the bowings, try to do the fingerings that are written as well. I think I messed up one of the bowings there. And do notice that there's two options for notes sometimes. It splits into harmony. You can play either one, but just choose one and go with it. We're going to make sure that the final recording is balanced. And so I'm going to play the top in this version, and that kind of helps shifting up. If we look at that third position spot, that is in measure 35. And so say you're playing third finger on this D, you're going to want to shift up to first finger. Make sure it's exactly the same note. If you're playing the B, it'll sound like this. Regardless, I really like to play long tones to figure out notes, especially in higher positions. So I might practice this section by just playing each note until I'm really sure it's in tune. Maybe I'll go back because I want to nail that note right away. Maybe I'll check with an open string. Make sure it's in tune. Again, going back. Sorry, my light's flashing there. I'm just gonna turn it off. All right. So what we want to see is if we can find all of those notes. Notice I went back and forth because I wasn't totally happy with my intonation. And so rather than fishing around for a note, if you're a little sharp, it's better to go up to a note and then try to get back to that note that was previously sharp to make sure it's in tune. Let's play the pickup to 37. So starting on that A, first finger, and we're just going to practice the first shift back down. So this is the pickup to 37. 1, 2. Again, 1 and 2. Alright, so this is the melody. It's just an octave higher than you had it before. And once you find the shift, then you can go at tempo. But I definitely recommend at first just finding each note, like I said before. Alright. Pickup to 39. Okay, this is going to be the pickup to 39, and we're starting on that E. You can use an open E there because it's just an eighth note. It's pretty fast. Try to lighten up a little bit. That'll help with the stringency of that note. Lighten up. Okay, here it is. 1, 2. So why does it have you shift to third position there? it's because you need to be in third position and again at 45. You have the same thing you had at 37. It happens again at 45. But we don't really want to do fourth finger E to first finger A. We want to try to do it before that. Rather than what's written, I recommend shifting from F sharp in measure 33, 43, 42, 41, F sharp into 42, F sharp to A. So that 2 to 2 shift. That feels a lot better to me than the 4 to 1 shift that is written in. Okay, let's find all those notes. And it's actually just a D major arpeggio. Again, arpeggios happen so much in music, so it's D, F sharp, A. Let's start at the beginning of measure 41. On that A, D, F sharp, shift up to A, first finger D, third finger. So those are all those quarter notes. In the previous video, I talked about how the quarter notes, you really need to make sure you're using a consistent bow. You don't need a lot of bow, because then you hear that swell of sound. We don't really want that. But you do need a consistent speed. That's how that phrase will sound. All right, moving on. This is the pickup to 45. 1 and 2. Okay, so going through this, try to really stick to the bowing that's written. Again, that's going to make sure we look really good. If you're playing through this on the recording and you play open instead of fourth finger, it's not a huge deal. In general, we want to try to use fourth fingers, but I tend to go between the two, either fourth finger or open in this piece, because it's a fiddle song and opens are not that big of a deal. In general, we don't want to have any open E's though, so like 44 would be really nasty as an open E. It really just sticks out too much. So that does need to be a second finger on that E. Okay guys, so I really recommend you practice those shifts to third position. And then the third position phrase that happens twice in this segment. This little phrase here. That is super important. That is that main melody.